Hey guys, for those of you who are new to my channel, behind me is my 718 GT4, or for those of you who have maybe just seen my videos reviewing other cars like the 993s, all these other Porsches, but this is my actual personal car, the GT4, and it's actually a pretty high mileage GT4. Now, I didn't buy this car as a high mileage GT4. I actually only bought it with 1,700 kilometers, so roughly about 1,000 miles. But I honestly just don't have the self-control not to drive a car like this. I absolutely love driving it. In my opinion, miles are pretty cheap. So let's go for a drive. I'm gonna tell you what I think of the car after 50,000 kilometers, what my plans are for the future. But yeah, let's go. Okay, so before we start, just two things I gotta tell you. One, in all the B-roll and everything, ignore how dirty the car is. Like I said, I drive this car quite a lot. I washed it in the last 2 weeks, but I think as soon as I took it out again after driving the 993, immediately it started raining, so the car is filthy right now. The inside's pretty dirty because honestly, like, I just drive this car all the time. And the second thing is, if you guys are not already subscribed, please subscribe. That way I can take out more cool cars, we can do more stuff, go on more trips, just have more content, and this summer is gonna have a ton of stuff. So make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Okay, now getting into my car. About this time last year, actually maybe around end of March, I made a video when I hit 30,000 kilometers. That was after I did a cross-country road trip in this car. So for those of you who don't know, I shipped this car to California and I drove it all the way back. So I did 9,100 kilometers in 16 days, went through I think 14 states, and this car was absolutely bulletproof. So after that trip, I kind of decided, I think this might be more of a long-term car. And now I'm getting up to 50,000, and I'm starting to see, a year later I'm at 50, 3 years from now I'll probably be at 100. So the kilometers are gonna start getting stacked up pretty quickly. So before I tell you what my plan is and what I'm gonna do with the car in the future, I'm gonna tell you how the first 50,000 kilometers has been. So let's start off with when I bought the car. Like I said, I bought the car with 1,700 kilometers. I bought it in January of 2021. What that means is I bought the car right before the market kind of exploded on these. And because of that, I got a screaming deal on this car. This MSRP of this car was 138,000 Canadian dollars. I paid 129. So I bought it in the slight window that these cars were trading under sticker. And because of that, I'm actually in a very good place with this car, even with high kilometers. Another big factor of when I bought the car is, for anybody who might have tried to buy a car recently, you might have seen the interest rates. And the interest rates right now, at least here in Canada, if you have unbelievable credit, you're looking at 7.99%. Most people 8.49, 8.99, and maybe even higher. So I'm 24 years old. Obviously, I had to finance this car. I put a solid amount of money down, but nothing too significant. Because of that, it puts me in a position where even with 50,000 kilometers on the car, I can most likely get what I paid back for it, maybe even a little bit more. And in these 2.5 years or 2 and a bit years that I've owned it, I've paid down the loan quite a bit, which means I have a good amount of equity. Now, that equity kind of gives me peace of mind if I want to drive this car, if I want to put kilometers on the car, because even if the car value goes down, I'm still not upside down. If anything happens and I need the money, I can always pull a solid amount of money out of the car. Let's first get into the maintenance of the car. So far, I've done, I want to say 5 oil changes. I had to do an alignment one time, brake fluid, and honestly, that's about it. At the end of the season, I'm gonna have to do, or probably mid-season, I'm gonna have to do spark plugs. End of the season, I'm gonna have to do tires and brakes. So the good thing is I have a set of rims coming, and when I shipped my car to the US, I actually bought another set of tires. So I wanted to have more usable tires. Tires are gonna last longer, so I bought Michelin PS4Ss, and those are what's still on the car. In my garage, I have my Dunlops that originally came with the car. I'm just gonna put that on as soon as the tires are done. And again, I already paid for that, about $2 grand for the tires. Brakes, I don't know what they're gonna cost, so I deal with ECC for all my maintenance, oil changes, everything. I think it's gonna be roughly about $3 grand from them. I know if I go to an actual Porsche dealership, it's gonna be a lot more expensive, but I'd rather stick it out with them if I'm putting these high kilometers on the car, save a ton of money on maintenance. Speaking of that, a Porsche dealership would charge me about $600 to $650 for an oil change for this car. Because I go to ECC, they charge me about half of that. So again, I'm saving money everywhere I can to kind of be able to put these kilometers on the car. From my experience so far with the car, it is actually a car that, regardless of value, regardless of maintenance, I truly enjoy driving. It's one of the most fun cars, most exciting cars I've driven, very well balanced. So I was thinking to myself, if I was to sell the car, what would I switch it for? So the only two cars I could really come up with that, you know, might somehow be in my price range at some point soon that I might be willing to trade this car for, a 99 1.2 GT3 and a Ferrari 458. Ferrari 458s, I only see them going up in value, so I don't think that's going to come anytime soon. 99 1.2 GT3s, however, are starting to creep down a little bit, but they haven't got yet to a position where I can really afford it and justify trading this in for one of those, even though I would love to do that one day, because that is the only car that's really in a manual and everything, but just feels like it's a little more of this car. So the one thing that I absolutely love about this car, and the reason why I got up to 50,000 kilometers, and the reason I kind of bought this car to begin with, is this car feels absolutely bulletproof. Nothing breaks on this car. They're so freaking reliable. And for someone like me who, you know, when I bought the car, I kind of stretched to buy it, that's the best peace of mind you can have, because I can drive this car, take it whenever I want, and I'm not thinking in the back of my mind, oh, what if it breaks today? Or what if this goes? And what if I'm going to have a repair that's going to cost me this much money? In this car, you truly don't feel like you really have to worry about anything like that. So that is a big factor of why I got the car up to 50,000 kilometers. I feel like a lot of Italian cars, once you get to this kilometers with performance cars, you're always nervous. There's always something in the back of your mind telling you something might go wrong today, or you might have to spend money today if you take the car out. In this car, I honestly never feel that. So it feels like I'm kind of driving a daily driver, but in a sports car. When I was originally looking to buy a car, I had a Mustang before this, and the car I originally was looking at was an Audi R8, like a 2014, 2015 gated manual V8. I was pretty set on that, and I went to look at them. And the more I explored, the more issues I kind of found that they have, and the more it kind of scared me away. And then my friend Jason, Why Was He Curator on Instagram, has his GT4. He got his probably 6 months or a year before me. I just sat in his car, and the carbon buckets are really what sold me. So these carbon buckets, they look so cool, but the good thing about them is they're so comfortable. You'd think they'd be stiff and hard, and you know, you drive these M cars with the buckets and it's not comfortable. I drove from California to New York in this car over 5 days, 1,000 to 1,600 kilometers a day, and these seats never hurt my back. They never hurt anything. They hold you very well. The only thing is just getting in and out of them. So the car is so comfortable, and you also have your rear trunk space and your front trunk space. So you could put 2 suitcases in the front, backpacks in the back. You can truly use this as a road trip car. Which leads me to what my plans are, hopefully, for the future. I'm not selling this car anytime soon. My dream with this car, and what I'm hoping to be able to do soon, is whenever there's any car show, any events, anything that I want to go to in North America, hopefully, but if not, somewhat in the area, you know, in New York, anything like that, I want to use this as a road trip car. I love doing road trips with this thing. I fell in love with it in the drive back from Car Week, and I would absolutely love to do more things like that, and then potentially, if I can afford it, add another car to kind of do my driving in Toronto with. So my plan for this car is I'm going to keep this car for a long time, hopefully forever. Honestly, I cannot see myself parting with this car. I fell in love with it. I can't recommend GT4s hard enough. I'm at 50,000 kilometers. This car feels the same as it was when I picked it up brand new, and I have not had to spend a lot of money on it. Honestly, my Volvo daily drivers are costing more money to maintain than this does, which is unbelievable. I'm worried maybe in the future something's going to go wrong, but what I'm going to do is Porsche offers an extended warranty, which is time-based, but it's unlimited kilometers. So for me, it's perfect. I can buy, let's say, a 4-year warranty, drive the car as much as I want, and everything is covered other than regular maintenance. So my plans for this car, I'm going to keep it. I'm never getting rid of it. Hopefully not, at least not in the next few years. If you guys were thinking about getting a GT4, you should do it now, because now that they announced that the X718 is going to be electric, these guys are going to skyrocket, and for a great reason. So that's my overall thoughts with the car. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.